Are you putting extra money towards your monthly mortgage payment each month? If you are, you need to watch this video, and it's coming up next. I talk to a lot of people who are taking extra money each month and applying it towards their primary home mortgage. Now, while that's not a bad idea, I don't know if it's necessarily the best use of money. Keep in mind, applying extra money towards a mortgage is not the same like applying extra money towards a credit card balance. If you have a credit card balance, usually that's at a much higher rate, number one, and number two, the rate is based, or the interest is based, on the average daily balance of that credit card. So applying extra payments towards a credit card, wonderful idea, highly recommended. Applying extra money towards a 20-year mortgage or a 15-year mortgage or a 30-year mortgage, I don't know if that's necessarily the best idea or necessarily the best use of your money. And here's why. Should you ever need that money back, you'd have to actually go to refinance the house in order to get it back. Now, once again, we're talking about a primary mortgage here, not a home equity line. If it's a primary mortgage, you can't just call up the bank and say, listen, I've been giving you extra mortgage payments every month. I need some of that money back because I just lost my job. It doesn't work that way. What you'd actually have to do is if you lost your job or were furloughed, you'd actually have to go reapply for a new mortgage. You'd have to refinance the house. And we know there's a couple of factors that you have to consider with that. Number one, you got to qualify. Number two, there's all sorts of fees and expenses. So putting that extra money towards the house, you really can't think of it towards a mortgage. You can't think of it as an ATM. You can't get that money back. Even if you applied it towards a credit card and got rid of the credit card, you could always get a cash advance. So keep in mind, it's not the same like a credit card, and it certainly is not an ATM. Number two, if you do send extra money towards your principal each month, that's just another thing for you to keep track of. You have to make sure that the bank's applying that extra money towards the principal each month. And most people don't want to take the time to keep track of that. And then lastly, if you have refinanced your house in the last couple of years when interest rates were lower, you probably have a relatively low interest rate on your mortgage. And if that's the case, putting extra money towards the mortgage and paying it just to pay it down quicker might not be the best use of money because maybe there's better alternatives. In other words, if you could have one race car that goes this fast, then you have another race car that goes a lot faster, wouldn't you want to be in the faster race car? And that's the question. Could you find an alternative investment to put that extra money into, and still, if you're committed to paying off the mortgage, you could still designate that investment as an investment that you're going to use to pay off the mortgage. I call this strategy a mortgage prepayment fund. In other words, designate an investment where you could make more money on that money, let it accumulate with the goal of getting rid of the mortgage at some point in the future. And here's how it works. As you're accumulating money in the mortgage prepayment fund, your mortgage balance is coming down because you're making the minimum payment every month. And at some point, those two things intersect. That's when you get to take the money out of the investment vehicle, go down to the bank, write them one check, and get that thing paid off all at once. And then you could go out, have a wonderful dinner, and celebrate. So there are better ways than just taking extra money each month and applying it towards the mortgage payment. If you're doing it, not the worst thing in the world, but there might be better ways to handle it. If you want to talk about a mortgage prepayment strategy, I'll show you exactly how I set them up. It's just about a 30-minute call. Let's chat about this, see if it makes sense for you. And it's real simple to do. All you have to do is go to the website. It's scheduletimewithsteve.com. That's scheduletimewithsteve.com. You'll jump on my schedule. We'll get an appointment together. Spend 30 minutes. It's not going to cost you anything just to take a look at this. I'll share some ideas with you and see if it makes sense for you. And if it does, you'll get on the right track. So I appreciate your time. Thanks for watching this. If you liked it, if you found it useful, like it, share it, and subscribe. Thank you.